All right, it's the end of the year, or it's a new year whenever this comes out, and we know that 2022 was filled with a lot of disappointments, like every other year in gaming. So here are my most disappointing games in 2022. Some of these games are good games, but some of these games are bad games, and I don't care what you think, but this is just what disappointed me this year. Saints Row. Saints Row, come on. Like, come on. Like, how could you do this to me? I love Saints Row. Since Saints Row 2, I never played Saints Row 1 because I was a GTA head back in the day. But since Saints Row 2, I've been a fan. I even love Saints Row 4. I know a lot of people don't, but I do. This one had me so excited with the character creator. The character creator looked so good, looked like they were putting a lot of work, which they did to the character creator. But into everything else, my God, what were they thinking? It's boring as fuck. So they took out all the likable characters of Saints Row and plugged in characters that you would never care for in your life. Filled with monotonous gameplay, level caps that make no sense, but that you can get max cap a level like in maybe a couple hours. The grind of the Saints Row was like a big part of Saints Row. Like, you got so many unlocks, so many different weapons, so many like cheat codes and stuff like that. Not even cheat codes, but just cheat unlocks that give you infinite weapons, stuff like that. From grinding and doing anything. There are so many activities you can do, so many fun activities that progression mattered a lot more. And in Saints Row, it doesn't matter. Not at all. I feel like they failed like completely to capture the first essence of the original games, and so far we're just left with a bland slate, and probably we won't get another Saints Row now because of this. And that's probably the worst part. That's probably the worst part. Ghostwire Tokyo. Ghostwire Tokyo. Now I platinumed this fucking game, and let me tell you, it didn't feel good doing it. Now the only thing I can say I really love about this world is the yokai designs and the design of Japan, because you know Japan design is always cool. But everything else is just bland, boring, uninspired, and just the usual cycle of why did you even make this gameplay design? This game design you chose is bad, and the story is bad. I couldn't tell you anything about it. Didn't connect to anybody that died. The actual shooting mechanic, when you shoot your fingers and shotgun style and wide way style, it's not that appealing. The only part that felt well was ripping out the cores inside of the yokai and watching them scream in agony and you crush it. That felt good. That felt really good. But other than that, nothing else felt right. Trying to connect to these characters throughout the entire game, no. I just felt nothing. And then surely enough, my completionist kicked in and I collected every single soul across the map, and I probably shouldn't have did that because it just added more to the flames of me feeling like nothing mattered. My experience with Ghostwire Tokyo is that you should not play it, or play it for very, very cheap, because everything in it besides the actual designs of the world and the enemies are uninspired. And God, I feel like I wasted my time. I can't get that back. Last of Us Part 1. Everybody knows Last of Us is a game of the year, story, wonderful game, one of the best games ever created. But we did not need a remake, and you didn't even give us multiplayer with it, so it's kind of pointless when you could just play the remaster for $10. And people can say, yeah, but the controls are better, blah, blah, blah. Who cares? Like, it's unnecessary and it's too soon. So that's why you have so many people shitting on it, like me, because it shouldn't exist and the multiplayer should have came with it. But, that's just me talking out my ass and talking down on it because it's just, where is the multiplayer? Hopefully come this year, and, PlayStation can stop doing these uninspired remakes just to get a freaking buck. But they won't, because it's easy money. Gotham Knights. I just made a video about this, so I'm not gonna rant too long. But Gotham Knights is the worst superhero game I ever played, and it's so boring that it's worse than any other bad game out there. Check out my Gotham Knight review if you care about me talking more crap about this game, but just know that it's really bad. It's not terrible, but it's so boring that it's really, really bad. All right. Resident Evil Reverse. Now, this is like a disaster from the get-go. And this game is supposed to come out on release of Resident Evil 8, which is a fantastic game. Everybody should play it, right? Got delayed so far ahead that it came out with the new DLC. And let me tell you, no one wants Resident Evil PvP. Please, for the love of God, stop, Capcom. Co-op experiences are all that we really want, and you should probably give us that. Is that hard? Like, people have been screaming for a Resident Evil Outbreak remake, remaster, something for years, and you just refuse to do it. You keep giving us resistance, which I enjoyed, but no. And then Rebirth is the nail in the coffin. And I don't even want to mention Umbrella Corps. That is the worst of the peak of shit. Like, it makes no sense. So stop with this, because nobody likes this. It's a generic third-person shooter, and you just reuse assets, and they don't even look like good assets. Every character in it looks like a mobile version of the actual character from the console game. It's weird, unappealing. Stop it. Babylon's Fall. Now, I didn't play this, I'm not gonna lie to you, but I was kind of looking forward to it when I first saw the name, because I saw Platinum Games, and I need to stop, because everybody knows Platinum Games has like 2 or 3 bad games and they release a banger, which is usually Bayonetta. That's besides the point. Babylon's Fall has combat like Nier Automata, or Nier Automata I should say, and that's about it. Live service games are the worst nowadays. They are uninspired, they are just greedy for your money and your time, and they don't care about the gameplay experience at all. They just want you to play their game and pay them for more stuff. And this is a perfect example of that. Everything looks terrible. The story, like slideshows, nothing looked good about it. And they still released this game and wondered why nobody wanted to play it, and it's shutting down next year. Good God, what a failure. Maybe Square next time and Platinum next time can take their fucking time and make a good game next time, because golly, this was not it. Babylon's Fall was really a fall from grace. Crossfire X. Crossfire X. Xbox can't catch a break. Now, Crossfire X is a multiplayer game that's, popular. Well, not X, but Crossfire is a multiplayer game that's popular around the world. I get that. But this Crossfire X is supposed to bring it to the modern standard of, what we enjoy over here. Like cinematic stories, the Call of Duty experience type stuff. And then they had Remedy, Remedy, the people who did the first Max Paynes, they did Alan Wake, they did Control, etc. They make great games. These people made one of the most uninspired, mediocre FPS games since freaking Homefront The Revolution. And Homefront The Revolution was so bad, and this is right next to it, giving it a half out. Great job. You can do better. I know you can. Please do better, because this isn't it. Crossfire X is just, once again, mediocre to its core, uninspired to its core, and nobody liked it. Great job. Once again, gaming is at its peak. Death vs. Let It Die. Now, this might not be a bad game, but it disappointed me, because I was a fan of the first Let It Die. And the first Let It Die was a roguelike Dark Souls type game with its wacky characters and etc. I know it had like a weird pay to win style thing where you can if you die, you can just buy gems to revive, which is it's fine for a single player experience. But this one is a battle royale, and then I immediately was like, no, I am so tired of battle royales, so tired. So when they announced this one, it was immediate pass, unfortunately. I love the first one, I love the soundtrack of the first one, I love the look of the first one, I love the gameplay of the first one, and I just couldn't bring myself to do this one. I'm over battle royales, and yeah, this is just another one that's probably gonna die. I'm not gonna lie, because you barely hear anybody talk about it or anybody playing it, and sure enough, it'll be over there with the rest of the battle royales that nobody played. Hyperscape looking at you. Dragon Ball The Breakers. What do you get when you cross Dead by Daylight with Dragon Ball Z? You get nothing good, I'm not gonna lie to you. Dragon Ball The Breakers is just one, it look like a free game, it should be free. But besides that, it's clunky, it's not pretty looking, and the actual gameplay loop sucks. So what more can I say besides this shouldn't have been a thing? I mean, Dragon Ball games really die because Dragon Ball is so popular, but if you want to keep the fan base you probably already lost, you need to update it with some fixes, because nothing looks enticing from the outside looking in. But my God, the concept kind of makes sense, but once again, concept cannot make a good game. A good concept cannot make a good game. That's it. Most disappointing games of the year. Not just bad games, but disappointing. And surely 2023 will be better, right? We won't have as many bad games like that. Surely. 2023 is the year we get no bad games. Right?